looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Alright, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm rolling in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. Why you chase the crust and I take the lead? Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on your name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your mind all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Oh, yeah. Look at all you beautiful people. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Hey, where is it? West Alabama? Max, how you doing, Max Lab? Oh, my gosh. Make sure to hit that like and like it. Hit that like button. Or the dislike. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can touch whatever you want to. DJ6637 has become a YouTube member, and let's make sure this works.
Welcome to the
yes.
show.
Every single day, a new flavor of buggery, cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuggery. Oh, yes. Yes, welcome, DJ D. Good to see you. Good to see you. My 4 sons, how you doing? Good to see you. Danny Barry, sports highlights, the greatest sports highlights that you will ever need. How's everybody doing? Oh, yeah. Good evening, man. It has been a crazy day. You know, in between, idiots emailing me and all other kinds of stuff. I mean, it's been crazy, and I will be having a very, very special guest on to be determined. Right now, it looks like a Saturday. It'll probably be Saturday afternoon. Well, I'm just working on getting the timing right because I want to make sure Mo's here for this. But I'm going to be having a very special guest, and whenever I introduce them, it's going to blow your mind away. It's going to be great. Trust me on this one. So just keep your eyes out. I will have more information as the week goes on. It's still early. It's only Tuesday, and I had a lovely conversation with somebody that I'm gonna interview that I know Mo wants to talk to, and this is going to be good. It's not anything to do with Hales, so don't be stressing about that. But it's going to be good. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be part of the Disturb series, going over some of the stuff with the little Timu Jesus. so keep an eye out for it. It's going to be fire. I'm pretty sure of that. Just know that it's I'm really looking forward to this. So like, share, subscribe, join the nuts, a big fuzzy but manageable. Gosh, shame, maybe not. Shame, yes. It might be a little fuzzy. I did shave, got the some of that neck beard gone, so it won't be too fuzzy. You doing, Denise? Is it Santa? No, it's much better. It's much better than Santa, but it will feel like Christmas, and it's going to be really good. And it's more than just information. So I want to make sure that you guys, see it all. Piss it off the haters one super chat at a time. Thank you. Maybe not. It does. You seem to be one of these, one of those haters is really lost his cool. He is definitely freaking out. But that's okay. We'll get into that if we have time. We'll get into that tonight. It's just there was so much that happened over the past less than 24 hours, and we're going. It's going to be fire over the next couple of days, and I will. Let's put it this way, Max. You can absolutely confirm this. All you have to do is just go to Levy County, look at the Granger's case, and you'll understand exactly what I mean by this is going to go bonkers. Whenever those documents unlock, you're going to see some crazy shit happening. And all you have to do is look, Max, and then come back and tell me, is it going to be crazy or not? Whenever Megan is away, the courts will play. Yes, that is so true. It is so true. It is going to be fire. I'm just saying that you're going to be in the lurker bar because whenever those documents unlock, yeah, Dana, that is absolutely correct. Emailing the judge. That is a big no-no, especially whenever you're part of that case. What's up, Papa Nut? Oh, Papa Jim, good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Oh man. Well, it looks like Jeremy got exactly what they were hoping for. And in the United States Bankruptcy Court, Northern District, Florida, Gainesville Division, of course, order granting debtor's motion to reinstate case. This case is before the court, and the debtor's motion to reinstate the case. After reviewing the motion and with no objections being filed, it is ordered. The debtor's motion to reinstate the case is granted. The above captioned case is reinstated effective upon entry of this order. Now, the order dismissing the case for failure to comply with notice of deadline to cure deficiencies entered August 18th is vacated. But pursuant to 11 U.S.C. 362, the automatic stay terminated on the date this case was dismissed and was not in effect from such date until the entry of this order. The automatic stay under 11 U.S.C. shall become effective as of this date of the entry of this order. But here's what you have to remember. The Chapter 7 trustee previously assigned to this case shall be reappointed. The case shall proceed in the ordinary course under the Chapter 7 of the Bankruptcy Code. This is where it's important. If not previously filed, any and all documents required to be filed by the debtor under 11 U.S.C. 521 and Bankruptcy Rule 1007 shall be filed no later than 14 days after the entry of this order. Because if it's not, message me what you're thinking. Oh, I don't even have to. I can just tell you right now. He's emailed the judge ex parte, and the judge did what the judge is supposed to do, and he entered those into the docket. So everybody is going to see what exactly he's been emailing the judge. And that's not going to look too good for him. That's not going to look too good for him, Max. Oh, yeah. Dana already guessed it. And it's not that he emailed him once. He's emailed him, I believe, 4 times altogether. And one of them is 11 pages. Ah, yes. Fun times indeed. Damn. Yeah. Especially because he's been messed around in these cases. Who emailed the judge? Ducey did. Ducey's been emailing Judge Grubb. Oh, yeah. That probably isn't going to look too good for Ducey. The judge might have a little bit to say about that. Depends on what was in the contents of it, because emailing a judge like that, ooh boy, oh boy. Oh, he thought he was being smooth. He didn't realize the judge would enter that stuff in there, I bet. So what kind of stupid shit did you email the judge? Let me see. Let me guess his playbook. Something about polyflops. I mean, we can speculate because, well, they're locked, We can speculate. I would speculate it's something about his polyflop bullshit. Let's see. Probably sent the complaints that he had about Randy and his bar license or being barred in the state of Florida. I would also guess that he's probably emailed him a bunch of other frivolous shit about, let's see, the lawsuit that he's created against him in another state. Let's see, what else would there be? Yeah, that's probably good enough for now. I didn't know what to say. My mind's blown. I just made my day. I've been stressed out about figuring out how I'm going to get SIGs. Before I've been stressed about figuring out how I'm going to get SIGs. Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. Even BBB is trying to sabotage Jeremy by dissing Lynette. Randy can prove BBB is actually anti-Jeremy. Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I'm just saying, it's gonna be crazy. So it looks like the bankruptcy is back on, but here is the caveat to that. The craziness to it is if all those documents that were supposed to be filed weren't filed, because they weren't before. He's got 14 days to do it. Oh yeah. Okay. Do you think we're just gonna have to make a bingo card, Jerry? We'll have to make a bingo card. When do you guys make a bingo card up and send it over to me? And whenever those documents open up, we'll pass it around. Make a good list. Like I'm saying, like 20 or 30 things on there or something. However much it takes to fill up one of those bingo cards. Oh yeah, we'll make some random bingo cards. I've got a bingo card maker, and then I'll give you guys the link to it. And we'll just have to wait until those documents unlock. So what happens if Lynette's bankruptcy is eventually discharged and JC loses? It's Fed 1, Fed 2. Jeremy goes after his possessions. Oh, well, you have to understand. And here's the thing with that bankruptcy. Now, the stay coming back in does not discharge her from showing up to court. Okay. The judge has already ordered that she's supposed to come in and take a deposition. The judge has also ordered, and even bankruptcy courts, federal courts generally, if there's nothing else going on, now he may hold off on forcing her to do any sort of payments. Okay, as far as like those sanctions will still happen. That's what the hearing is about. It just the judge's ruling may be put on stay. The judge can still rule on it because all of that information gets entered into the bankruptcy court. And it would be smart if she did show up, because that way she can put that into the bankruptcy court. It would be really stupid. And I'm not saying that to be like facetious or joking around. I'm serious. That would be something that if she doesn't show up, the sanctions go up, and the judge would probably increase that amount. But if she shows up, she can enter that stuff into the bankruptcy court. That would be part of the stuff that she would owe, as far as fines, sanctions, those kinds of things. But I don't know how much would come off. But that is something she would not want to miss. Also, she's set for a deposition. That's not something that a federal court will say no. Now, I could be wrong. The judge may see it differently, and he may turn around and put it on stay. So, just put a stay on the depot. It shouldn't put a stay on the depot. That should still go forward because there's no monetary issue with it. And the judge may be pretty pissed off if she tries to. We won't know. Here's the thing. Over the next couple of days, we'll probably see some sort of filing in those court cases of this, that there is a stay from the bankruptcy court, and we won't know until we see what the judge does. That's all that's the way I would look at it. We don't know until the judge does what the judge does. But I would think not. What about the Ohio court in person? Like I said, that she would have to send it into any court cases that she's involved in. It won't stop a protective order. Protective order remains. Anything like that would remain. If she owes money on anything else, that stuff, I don't know. We just have to wait and see what the court orders. I don't follow the Ohio case. I don't have access to that. From what I understand, that's all sealed. So I wouldn't know how that would work out. I know Facebook. How about Discord? Does federal stay apply to state cases? It can. It just depends. Like I said, that is up to the judge's discretion. Like I know that it'll put a stay back on Fed 1 and Fed 2, but only for her. It doesn't stop everybody else at all. There also was more that said there was a notice of requirement to file a statement of completion of course of personal financial statement. So this probably hasn't been done, which would be Chapter 11, Chapter 13, Chapter 7. But she has limited to exceptions. Individual debtors must complete an instructional course in personal finance management in order to receive a discharge under Chapter 7. That's something to comply with this requirement. The debtor must complete that management course after the filing of the petition. Not before, but after the filing of the petition. If the certificate of completion of the financial management course predates the filing of the petition, the case may be closed without entry of an order of discharge. Chapter 7, they file a certificate of course completion issued by an approved provider of that course within 60 days of the date first set. In converted cases, a certificate must be filed no later than 60 days after the date first set for the meeting of creditors. Yeah, she can't do this beforehand. Certificate of course completion is upon provider approved. It has to be an approved provider of that course is required for each debtor. In joint cases, failure to file the certificates would result in the case being closed without an entry of discharge. If the debtor file a motion to reopen the case to allow the filing for certificates, the debtor must pay the full reopening fee due. So she has to have that completed. And because this is new, I don't know if that restarts it or she has to complete it again. But yeah, that's something that has to be done. Let me see here. And then we also have the final notice regarding statement of completion, of course, of personal management. This is basically just a notification saying that you're hereby notified the course has not received notification from an approved provider of an instructional course concerning personal finance management that the debtors have completed such a course pursuant to federal bankruptcy procedure. An individual debtor who has completed an instructional course concerning personal finance management must file the certificate of course completion, often called a certificate of debtor education, issued by the approved provider of that course. If the debtors do not file the certificate of course completion issued by the approved provider of the personal finance management course within 14 days from the date of this notice, the clerk will close this case at the appropriate time without entry of a discharge as stated in the court's prior notice. And this is dated October 21st. So in 14 days, looking at that, 14 days from the 21st, must complete course. All right. So yeah, 14 days from the 21st has to complete that course. If it's not completed, they will be kicked out of the case. The case will the stay will be lifted and things will proceed on again. Yeah. And I'm sure all of you have heard the news about stupid Dave. Yeah, because he's bright. He's the brightest bulb in the carousel. It spins round and round. Yeah, stupid Dave. Couldn't keep his mouth shut, had to open it up and flop those jaws. And guess what? Here is the order. The court issued an order requiring plaintiffs to show cause as to why the claims against defendant Stupid Dave should not be dismissed for lack of timely service. Now, plaintiffs have responded to the show cause order. And if a defendant is not served within 90 days after the complaint is filed, the court, on motion or on its own, after notice to the plaintiff, must dismiss the action without prejudice against the defendant or order that service be made within a specific time. The rule further provides that if the plaintiff shows good cause for the failure, the court must extend the time for service for an appropriate period. But even in the absence of good cause, a district court has the discretion to extend the time for service of process. Now, in the response, plaintiffs admit that Stupid Dave has yet to be served, Doc 122 at 1. And plaintiffs do not dispute that the deadline previously extended for serving defendant Stupid Dave has expired. Because Stupid Dave was not timely served, plaintiffs must show good cause for the failure to effect timely service. Now, plaintiffs argue that good cause exists and that they seek an additional 45 days to complete service. Now, plaintiffs state that despite reasonably diligent efforts, they have been unable to serve Stupid Dave. Plaintiffs assert that they have hired a private investigator to help complete service on Stupid Dave. Despite every effort, the plaintiffs state that they have been unable to serve defend Stupid Dave. Now, plaintiffs claim that Stupid Dave is evading service and has made appearances on YouTube, taunting plaintiffs about not being served. That is typical of someone stupid. Yeah, I would say that's pretty stupid. Sitting there making jokes about it, thinking it's funny, pulling out the documents, laughing about it. Ha, 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 look at me. I haven't been served yet. Ha, ha, ha. My butt hurts. He's put a bounty on my head. There was no bounty on your head. They said, we want to make sure that we have all the correct information to perfect service. Because it seems like he knows these documents are here, but he's hiding and cowering in his little binky, got his dog. He's probably afraid that he's going to be spending time with Paint Chip. We know how Paint Chip likes to be his manly man. Plaintiffs have attached affidavits from process service regarding their unsuccessful attempts to serve Stupid Dave. Now, based on the information provided by the plaintiffs, the court finds good cause. Not just some good cause, but good cause. Under Rule 4M to extend the service deadline as to Stupid Dave. Now, granting the extension of service deadline where the plaintiff had made diligent efforts to locate and serve a defendant. Now, even in the absence of good cause, the apparent efforts by Stupid Dave to evade service, the judge is calling him out on his bullshit. Yeah, do you think the judge maybe didn't pop those YouTube videos in and look at them and say, he is evading service? Even absence of good cause, the apparent efforts by Stupid Dave to evade service would likely justify the court exercising its discretion under Rule 4M to grant plaintiffs extension. All they need is the proof of the foolishness that you are doing. That's all the judge needs, just the proof. And you gave them that by the bucket loads. It was like you were whale jerking. If you don't understand the term, then you've missed out on a Friday morning with Mo and me. To evade service would likely justify the court exercising its discretion to grant the extension. Now, noting that evading service may justify the grant of an extension of time for service of the process if the absence of good cause. Now, the court, therefore, will grant plaintiffs an extension of 90 days to serve Stupid Dave. That extension will apply retroactively to the previous service deadline of September 2nd, 2025. Thus, Stupid Dave must, plaintiff's counsel is reminded that, look right here, plaintiff's counsel is reminded that a lawyer should request an extension of deadline before it expires. Plaintiff's counsel is hereby placed on notice if a service of deadline expires again, in this case, without an extension request having been sought before the deadline expires, then the extension will be denied and dismissal recommended for lack of timely service. So that's putting Randy on notice. Now, if you think the judge is biased, this right here tells you that they are giving Randy warning. So if you think that the judge is biased, he's proven right here he ain't biased. He's just giving warning. Now, thus, Stupid Dave must be served by December 1st, 2025. Now, in addition to requesting extension of the service deadline, plaintiffs have sought permission to serve Stupid Dave by publication under Wisconsin law. And we'll see the little citation right there, number 2. Well, we'll just go down here and we'll look at number 2. Number 2 says, plaintiffs assert that their investigation has revealed that defendant Stupid Dave resides in Wisconsin. Under Federal Rule Civil Procedure 4E1, a defendant may be served following state law for serving a summons in an action brought in courts of general jurisdiction in the state where the service is made. Thus, plaintiff may seek to serve defendant Stupid Dave in accordance with Wisconsin law, since that is the state where service will be completed. Now, we get back up to here. Because plaintiff service attempts are in Wisconsin, plaintiffs are permitted to follow Wisconsin service laws, which are stated in the statute 801.11. Wisconsin requires a plaintiff to exercise reasonable diligence at personal service in the first instance. Not only if that is not successful, only if that is not successful, may a plaintiff attempt to serve a defendant by leaving the summons at the defendant's usual place of abode with a competent adult or member of the defendant's family who is informed of the summons contents. Here, the court finds that plaintiffs had made reasonably diligent effort to serve Stupid Dave. The affidavits submitted along with the plaintiff's motion show repeated efforts to serve defendant Stupid Dave at locations believed to be associated with him. Additionally, plaintiffs state that they have retained the services of a private investigator to assist with locating Stupid Dave. Because plaintiffs have made reasonably diligent efforts to serve Stupid Dave, the court will allow substitute service by publication under Wisconsin law. Now, finding that service by publication was appropriate under Wisconsin law, where the plaintiff had made multiple attempts to complete service and had conducted an investigation to locate an address for the defendant. This happened in 2021. Plaintiffs must ensure that they comply with all requirements for service by publication under Wisconsin law. Plaintiffs must also provide proof of such service to the court as required by the federal rules of civil procedure. This is really important. This little piece right here is so important, because not only is Stupid Dave going to be published in a paper, now he can say that he is a published person in the paper. That means anybody, grandma, grandpa, all of his family members that are in that county, they get to see his name published in the paper. He might want to clip that out and paste it up on the wall and give it a big thumbs up, because whenever that service happens, if you don't respond, guess what happens to you, Stupid Dave? You end up going into default. They will consider you being served. If you want to avoid that, you might want to get your shit together. Call a damn attorney, like a real attorney, not one of these guys that licks paint chips off the wall and probably Bubba's nutsack. You might want to contact one of, someone that, isn't in trouble in multiple states for shenanigans, or maybe someone that got disbarred, or possibly, maybe you want to talk to an attorney and say, hey, I'm being sued in another state. Help? Be a lot cheaper than, your cheeseburgers. Because I don't know if they're going to give you cheeseburgers in prison. Court's orders show cause 121 is discharged. The deadline to complete service as to Stupid Dave is retroactively extended by 90 days from September 2nd, 2025. The deadline to serve Stupid Dave is now December 1st, 2025, which means the next start of the service by publication, the next newspaper that comes out, is going to have your name in bright lights, Stupid Dave. You might want to just go ahead and file a response now and save your grandma, your grandpa, your nieces, your cousin, your dog, whatever it might be. They won't have to see your name in the newspaper and go, Dave, you're being sued? No, just stalled cheese sandwiches. Hey, someone does like, good night, Sherry. You have a good night. Good to see you. All you wonderful, wonderful, fine people. So ordered this 21st day of October 2025. Zachary C. Bolito. So all those people that were thinking they weren't sure that Judge Bolito was off the case, looks like Judge Bolito's still on the case as far as I can tell. Of course, somebody else may be looking into paint chips right now, and they may be looking in the court docs and seeing the kind of shenanigans that paint chips plays. Maybe they might have some very curious thoughts about paint chips. But what would a night be? What would tonight be without a little bit of an open letter? Because, nobody deserves it any more so than that fool. Oh yeah. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. We're going to kick that thing. Give you guys a nice open letter. So tasty.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Here we go. An open letter to Stupid Dave, the hide-and-seek champ who just got found. Well, Dave, you've built a whole identity out of dodging a knock like it's an Olympic event, turning every porch light into a coward's lighthouse and every ring cam into a sad solo doc about a guy too scared for grown-up stuff. You peek through blinds, you bolt behind garages, crow online, they can't send me, like civil procedure is a choose your own adventure book where zigzagging in your driveway makes you invincible. Somehow you're convinced yourself an evasion is genius level strategy, gloating it's rock solid proof and whining about it's a bulletproof defense. Well, then today, hit like a pie to the face, didn't it, Stupid Dave? The court skimmed your clown show, rolled its eyes in official ink, and greenlit the easiest fix. Quit playing invisible man. Everyone sees you, especially the judge. So let's not kid ourselves, because this ain't clever. Hiding from a process server, it isn't chess. It's a peekaboo with subpoenas. You didn't outsmart squat. You just stalled the inevitable like a bad traffic jam. You turned a simple handover into a full-blown public meltdown, which, hey, fits your brand just like a glove. And while you were filming your elusive plaintiff routine, like it's a wildlife special called Midwestern Man Avoids Maturity, the docket piled up with the one thing you were fleeing, the evidence of your dodging. Well, congratulations, champ. Your online taunts are now the noose that you knitted yourself. Well, here's the bit you'll fake confusion on, so I'll crayon it out slow if I can stop from eating them. The court nuked the dismissal threat, tossed in an extra time for service, cracked open the door to publish under the rules that actually matter your beloved "Can't Catch Me Now" bet legally irrelevant now. See, you had one gimmick. You milked it dry. It fizzled. Picture a street magician pick a card on a cop who's already clocked the trick deck. Crowd's gone quiet, badge ain't buying it, and the ticket's incoming. You've made this messier by narrating your dodges like you're starring in A Man Who Protests Way Too Much at the local theater of self-sabotage. Now, everyone a whimper about harassment from basic legal service are just footnotes proving the court's hunch. You're not unfindable, you're just an uncooperative little bitch. The uncooperative doesn't trump out Rule 4. It feeds that judges don't chuckle at the peekaboo plaintiffs. They're patient when practical, then problem solvers. And today was the problem solved stamp. You get it. I get it. That you will pivot to the martyr script, sobbing about how unfair it is, how they rigged the rules, how publication's a dirty trick. Well, spare me. The rules didn't budge. They got enforced correctly. Dodging doesn't grant immunity. It unlocks alternatives for the other side. Stupid. You turned a handshake into your do-it-yourself kit, and now that kit includes a newspaper ad. All your driveway dashes just scored you service where sprinting isn't going to help because it's going to be in black and white, son. It's going to be on the page in the exact spot the law says works when a stupid adult won't answer his own damn door. So go ahead, call this a victory. Cut another video ranting publication is a scam. Pace your kitchen mumbling sovereign citizen nod shit like you're cosplaying to be a lawyer. Well, none of that stops the timer because the deadline's ticking and it doesn't give a damn about your tantrum. The court slapped the date down and gave the other team a master key. You're not barricaded, you're just out of alibis. Because the paper's sneaking in via the front page since you ghosted the front door. And don't think that there's a big possibility that you're going to be sanctioned for all the money that they had to spend on it. So let's unpack your online persona, shall we? That little internet tough guy vibe, the pseudo-legal babble, the I'm above consequences because I declared it, or it's cute like a raccoon raiding glitter. What's funny for a second, but then it turns into a total effing disaster. You confuse volume for power. You spin stalling as a master plan. Now, you also clutch your pearls over harassment while constantly harassing the system. But in the end, a judge talked to you like a kid zoning out in class. No more games. Time's up. Here's extra time. We'll handle it with or without your input. That's not tyranny. That's just tidying up the docket. Now, you're not a pioneer, dear Dave. It's that the courts spot your type from a mile off. Your arms are flailing. Your eyes are bugging. Your whisper yelling, "It serves me if I'm real side." Newsflash, dummy, they can. The gap between unserved and served ain't your porch anymore. It's the law's call on reasonable effort. And the court ruled those efforts happen. And once that's docketed, it's your pick a poison time. Keep hiding. Publication drops. Keep griping. Case chugs on, sans you. Keep bragging. You self-documented the dodge. Through line, you forfeit control by mistaking spotlight for intelligence. What you're really scared of isn't a server. It's accountability, Dave. A complaint's a mirror showing you what you've done and what you'll owe up to. You think ducking delays the reflection, Dave? You're just putting off a stare down. The court can't force bravery, but it can force presence. That's today's gift. It popped your little bubble into real life. Now, here's a route that skips your eyes, your calendar, or your wobbly phone vids. Paperwork's chill. Deadlines are dry, and both kick ass. So here's your crossroads. Since you love roads to run on, quit the act, step up, or hell, keep acting and get stepped on. Ex-service like a big old boy. Answer on substance. Prove you're more than a doorbell dodging cartoon. Or narrate your vanishing act while the clock spins. Publication lands, Windows response window yawns. The silent risk's just another default. It's not a threat, stupid. It's just physics. Rant at it on cam. It is not going to halt what's about to happen to you, boy. And to skip the pity party on the ambushes and harassment because service tries aren't sneak attacks. They're due process basics. See, you can't cloak a victim vibes because timelessness gave you a nudge, because the louder you yelp, the more we're going to laugh, and the more you spotlight that you see it coming and doubt your chops to cope. That's not bullying. That's just your baggage. You even snagged a mini scold from the bench on deadlines and timeliness. Now, not aimed at you, but let's dumb it down. Courts dig order over mess, schedules over shenanigans, forward motion over foolery, to all calendar up. To you, case ain't stolen. If that's your confetti moment, reread where the publication's approved and the date locks. Party, if it suits, just know you're toasting your final excuse to going oof. And a dash of reality while you huff behind the hedges. You don't gotta love the rules, you gotta exist in them. Grown-up plot's dead simple. They tried serving, you dipped. Court said cool, retry, plus backup plan. Next, service sticks. You respond or motion case rolls. You can't serve me routine. It ain't a happy ending for you. It's fluff. It's static. It's the crap courts reference when granting precisely this. So save your final yard sprint monologuing to the lens about envelope oppression. Because this is the flick's twist, where the hero figures the bed monster is a shadow and the real mess is his hiding spot because the shadows vanish, the mess lingers, and you can cry to your Ring camera or just adult up and argue your case. Either way, the paper's en route. Door, page, print, your game folded from not cheating, but because the rules you mocked did their job on a possum player. Law's yawn-worthy, and that's its superpower. Signed with steady hands, freshly shined Velcro shoes, and the star-spangled helmet, slightly not around. From all the eye-rolling tongue off the window long enough just to read the order from end to end, and would be ashamed to be your daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Whiz, Nut,
Buddy, I'm telling you, they don't seem to quite get it. But it's going to come to them. It'll come to them eventually. And that's what I think they fear the most, is that amount of pain that they're about to suffer. It's just bend over because it's gonna pinch. Well, there's some other stuff that I'm going to cover, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I do have something else that okay, so moron Volmit decided to email me, and even was so kind as to drop my name in his bullshit. It's great. It's really great. They don't seem to understand that I'm my own person. They have this idea that I work for other people. I'm just waiting to see the check. That's what I would love to see. These people are the epitome of stupid. And I guarantee you what I'm about to show you goes beyond stupid. Because, of course, Volmit, let's see. Let's put it into perspective. How many of you guys are here? We've got 330 of you fine folks here, and old Volmit couldn't get any more than 5 likes, which are done by all of the people that follow him, which are 1 person and 4 bots, unless he liked it himself. But it's complete garbage. It's a bunch of shit that he's throwing at the wall from somebody who clearly doesn't understand what's going on. I mean, whenever I say clearly doesn't understand what's going on, I mean, it is pretty freaking obvious that this guy has not read the docket at all. Because he starts out, several months ago, Larry D-Wag, I foreman, got into a dispute. Well, what was this dispute about? Oh my gosh. This dispute was these people who worked at Kentucky law firm, Foreman and Associates. Tyler Hisson recently won a trial and asked for a raise, and Foreman didn't think he was deferential enough, and dispute led to both Hisson being fired. The acrimonious split quickly turned ugly, with Foreman making allegations against the couple, including them stealing proprietary secrets. Yeah, that's not really what happened now, was it? Because if you would have been smart enough, Volmit, to actually read the documents, there was something that you missed out on. Okay? I mean, whenever I say you missed out on a lot, I'm not talking, just a little bit. You missed out on so much. Because here's where he starts getting a little stupider as it goes on. As he continues with his garbage. The threats quickly turned into a lawsuit filed by Foreman pro se against the couple. In at least one filing, the Hitches, who declined to comment when reached by email, say they believe Foreman was going to use the lawsuit to create YouTube content similar to his YouTube ally Jeremy Hales. Except what you're missing in all of this, and I'll be very blunt about this. What he's missing in all of this is nowhere in any of the filings was there any part of him doing anything. Absolutely zero zilch for YouTube content. He has never spoken of this case. Ever. I have looked and I can't find anything on his channel, on Facebook, on anywhere. So whenever he's saying that he's doing this to create YouTube content, I have to call bullshit, Volmit, because it doesn't exist. He has not talked about it. He's had nothing to do with talking about this case. Now, you and Bubbles, on the other hand, have got it really prim and proper to start talking about it, because you're the idiots that called my attention to it, you dumb fuck. Just because people are friends does not necessarily mean that their cases are the same. All cases are going to be different. Every single case is going to be different. It doesn't matter what case it is. There is going to be differences in it. Now, there may be similarities, but it's a completely different case, different people, different attitudes, different reasons. You have to understand that all of this original complaint, not just part of it, all of this original complaint was completely different than what he is talking about. Okay? Although there was a case, he was fired. If you read what was actually filed, that was not the only reason that he was fired. The reason that they were fired off of this case, if you read the fucking documents, Volmit, which clearly you can't read worth shit, can't spell worth a damn either. If you were reading the documents, you would see the reason that they were fired is because they were attempting to solicit his current clients while working for him while they were planning on leaving. Read the documents. This is why whenever you get these idiots in here that don't read a damn thing, you don't have to understand every single piece of it. Just read the documents. But here's his other problem, because the document that he's reading off of was the initial complaint. He's not reading the amended complaint because that would be too much for him to do. That would require him to actually do some sort of work. And he really can't seem to even do that. The way that he tries to frame this is saying that he's going out and he's talking about this case, using it for YouTube content. The only person that started talking about this, we're talking about starting talking about it, was Volmit himself. He is the one that brought up the case. I knew that there was a lawsuit out there. I looked it over and I was like, I'll come back to it. It looks interesting, but most court cases are absolutely boring. Also, he goes throughout this case, and as you'll see, he admits thus far Foreman has not done much content on his lawsuit. The last YouTube content was done by another ally, Shizzy Whiz Nut. No, it's Shizzy Whiz Nut or Papa Nut, or, fuck off. If you're wanting to know how I feel, that you can address me, because any of those work. I don't give two shits about you. I find it absolutely comical that you're filing this kind of crap right here and adding this crap right here. New federal filing, paint chips default incoming. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you're throwing in there, is stuff that has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Now, you have to understand that whenever people want to send me these kind of crap, generally I just overlook it. But it just so happened that somebody else reached out to me. They said, "Did you see this bullshit? He's mentioning you." I was like, "Oh, that's glorious." So I went back and I'm like, "Okay, which email is it?" "Oh, I guess it came out today." Whatever. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of other emails. This guy has got a propensity. It's because Megan turned him down. She didn't turn him down nice either. She turned him down harsh. Whenever I say harsh, I mean it was really harsh. She erased him. Tug Raiders, welcome, Tug Raiders. I mean, she turned him down. Oh, so bad. I mean, it was absolutely brutal. Watching that just disappear. Ooh, she was just like done. Now, there is another piece of information that he puts in here, and I have to point it out, because he's saying here that well, neither Shizzy nor Foreman responded to an email for comment where he was terminated. Okay. Why do I have to comment on anything? You don't own me, and I owe you absolutely nothing, Volmit. I mean, if you want to hear my comments, well, it's amazing, but you could actually go and watch the video that you linked to and hear my comments. But the itty bitty video that you linked to, stupid. All you had to do, just go and you can see exactly what my comments were. My comments were pretty straightforward. I don't think I minced words. But apparently that wasn't good enough, because I had to go back and see what this stupid email that somebody sent me days or weeks or something like that ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. I'm like, really? These are the questions you're going to ask me? I mean, they were let's put it this way. They're trick questions. They're trap questions. There is no answer to your stupid questions. You're asking me questions that bear no relevance on anything whatsoever. They're meant to elicit a something. Who the fuck knows what it is? But I'm looking at it going, these are supposed to be serious questions. Like, they're about as serious as me nailing my head to a brick wall. Then it's not going to happen. Neither Shizzy nor Foreman's responses to an email for comment. Hitch was terminated in March of 2025. Don't care. See, that's the thing. I don't care. When he was terminated, well, shortly after that, Foreman filed a lawsuit. His original lawsuit was filed on April 14th, 2025. From the beginning, rather than a YouTube bonanza, this lawsuit has opened a can of worms for Foreman. No, it hasn't. See, here's the thing. The only thing that's happened in this case, and I've looked through the case, and it wasn't until what exactly was that, March, that all of a sudden someone was off of a case and the filings changed. Like, it got really interesting because up until those filings changed, there was no discussion of YouTube content. There wasn't even a thought. There wasn't even a whisper of this. This was something that Larry seemed to be handling. He was doing his thing. Welcome, Tug Raiders. Welcome. There is nothing happening. Absolutely nada. Zero. Zilch. If you read the documents, which I have already done, but of course, Volmit's too stupid to actually go back and do any of his research to see what my take was on it. Here's the thing, stupid. Larry filed it. They came back and said this should go to arbitration. Larry agreed to arbitration. That doesn't stop the trial court from happening. The trial court stays open because somebody that's in arbitration, if they start screwing around, it gets kicked back out of arbitration and goes back into the court document. So you don't have to start all over again and start a whole new filing. It's expeditious. Okay. They still, although they wanted to go to arbitration somewhere in March, all of a sudden that went away and they started talking about Larry doing this for YouTube content. Really weird how that worked, wasn't it? All of a sudden, Larry's doing this for YouTube content. He hadn't done a YouTube video about any of it. He hadn't talked about it. He hadn't discussed it. He hadn't seen any, and I've looked. There is nothing about this whatsoever in any of his documents. Any YouTube, and you can go to his Rumble, you can go to Twitter, you can go wherever. There is not a single bit of this that's out there for public display. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Nothing. Until somebody else started filing shit. And it's clear because the way that the filings are written. All of a sudden, you start hearing some very familiar terms by a very familiar idiot that clearly has an issue with Larry. All the same language. All the same complaints, all the same bullshit. Who's using it for content now? Because he's like, sure, we can take an arbitration. That's what the agreement is. Let's go ahead and do it. No, yeah. The only problem is he doesn't understand any of this. Larry amended the complaint. He changed the heading to just breach of contract but still kept the same contract exhibit. Original complaint on the docket. Because it's the same fucking contract. You don't change the contract. It doesn't change, you moron. It's still an exhibit. He changed the pleading on it. This is what is called an amended pleading. Wow. Go figure what an amended pleading means. Jeez. Arbitration and sanctions. Now, Hitch's contract requires arbitration. Larry sued anyway. Larry balked at the arbitration, so the Hitches moved. Then this is from him. Okay. What he tried to say is that Larry balked at arbitration. Larry didn't balk at arbitration. Larry said, okay, let's do it. Let's go. That's exactly what Larry said. He was like, all right, arbitration, let's go. No problem. To the layman, neither of these sections seems controversial or unfair. It makes sense that Foreman entered a part of the contract prohibiting Hitches from trying to poach clients. However, Foreman's lawsuit found its way into Kentucky Legal Journal, the Kentucky Trial Court Review. Their sharp-eyed legal eagles noticed this part of the contract violated broad Kentucky legal ethics against non-compete agreements. Oh, look, he's got a little AI overview. Do you see what it says here? His AI overview. Ooh, Googled it. And it says, in Kentucky, lawyers are ethically prohibited from signing non-compete agreements that restrict their rights to practice law. But I did the same search using the same search program. And look what it says right there. AI overview. Same Google search. Yes, lawyers can sign non-compete agreements in Kentucky, but they are only enforceable if they do not restrict the practice of law, with a carve-out for legal work remaining mandatory. Agreements that prevent lawyers from practicing law are against the rules of professional conduct, so they cannot be enforced. However, non-compete agreements are enforceable if they are reasonable in geographic area, duration, and scope, and do not prevent them from earning a living. Now, requirements for enforceable non-compete agreements are reasonableness. The agreement must be reasonable in terms of duration, geographic area, and the scope of the activities it restricts. Adequate consideration. The agreement must be supported by adequate consideration, such as monetary payment, promotion, or additional benefits. Protecting the employer's interests. A reasonable agreement will protect the employer's interests, such as the employee's knowledge of internal business information. Now, there's some important considerations for lawyers. There's ethical rules. They're ethically prohibited from signing agreements that restrict their ability to practice law. He never restricted their ability to practice law. What he restricted was their ability to take his clients away and using their internal workings. If you read the damn lawsuit, the fucking lawsuit tells you right in there that they were working on other clients that were not involved in his out of their offices. And he had already said, that's fine. You can collect on those. But my clients are my clients. If you're working on my clients, they don't become your clients, and they were poaching his clients. Read the fucking lawsuit, Volpe. Non-legal services, non-compete agreements that restrict a lawyer from providing non-legal services, such as business advice, may be enforceable as long as they do not restrict the practice of law and enforcement. Kentucky courts will enforce non-compete agreements if they meet the requirements for reasonableness and consideration. Yeah, Larry DUI only got involved in this mess because of Judge Grudge, and what a mess. Poor Larry. I'm torn. Shizzy or MG. Oh dear, oh dear. Guess I have to bounce back and forth. That's right, bounce back and forth. You can do that. I like it whenever you bounce. So whatever bullshit that he pulled here, it doesn't provide whatever he posted in here to AI was not a reasonable question. Because a simple question would be, are lawyers prohibited from signing non-compete agreements? And an AI tells you no. So the same AI that idiot was using, I used to prove him wrong yet again. Now, with egg all over Volpe's face, oh, I'm sorry, Foreman quickly amended his complaint on April 21st. I don't think that was quick. He said, okay, I'll amend the complaint to fix whatever bullshit is going on. And then, of course, there's a breach of contract, blah, blah, blah. The contract with unethical clause remained as an exhibit. Of course it does. However, the original complaint remains as an entry in the case. Things only went downhill for Foreman from here. He just responded by pointing out the contract Foreman drew up called for all his disputes to be handled in arbitration. They further suggest that Foreman sued in violation of his contract in hopes of creating YouTube content. No, he didn't. Because what they're saying here, the Hitches responded by pointing out the contract Foreman called up for disputes to be handled in arbitration. They further suggest Foreman sued in violation of contract in creating YouTube content. He never tried to create any YouTube content, you moron. This is why you want me to respond to your shit. Get the fucking story right, Volmit. I'm serious. If you can't get the story right, if you can't read the court documents and understand what you're reading, then stop reaching out to me because you're an idiot. Read the damn court documents. God. I mean, there's so many fucking pages in here. It's just, and it's all bullshit. Because as much as he's sitting here screaming about this stuff, and he tries to bring up, welcome Tug Raiders, welcome. He tries to bring up, because Jeremy is his buddy, that Jeremy is causing him to do this. That he's creating this for YouTube content. There's only one fucking moron that I know of that keeps saying this shit that is not true. That Jeremy keeps creating this for YouTube content. No. But he is going to monetize you messing with his business. He's going to monetize the hell out of it. And I'm surprised that Larry hasn't talked about it. But see, Larry has ethics. This is something that these morons haven't figured out, that Larry actually has ethics. And that's why this moron got fired in the first place, is for unethical fucking behavior. Oh, don't forget to click that like button, Tug Raiders. Yeah. He tries to bring up Tug Raiders. He tries to. He tries to bring up Tug Raiders. He tries to bring up everyone. When Foreman balked in arbitration, which he never did, the Hitches filed for sanctions. No, that is incomplete. You're not listening to read the stupid. Read the fucking documents. I'm serious. I'm not even going to, because so far I am 7 pages into this, and you have not gotten anything freaking right, like at all. You've got absolutely none of it right. None of it. You are as bad at this as you are at everything else that you've tried to accomplish in life. You are a fucking miserable human being. I'm dead serious. You might want to stop trying to do this. You might want to move out of your mommy's basement and actually go get a real job. Maybe go change tires or something, because you clearly suck really bad at this. And I don't mean just a little bit. I mean, you suck worse than a prostitute down on 10th Avenue. Good Lord, you are bad at this. I just can't. I'm sitting here reading through this, and there's nothing in this that's even. It's like It's like, did you run into a brick wall as a child? Did you fall down the stairs? Do you scrape your brain too many times? I mean, what kind of heavy drugs were you on? I don't understand. The level of stupidity that I have read in these documents, just in 7 pages, and you've got absolutely nothing right. My God. And you're wondering why I don't respond to your fucking emails, you whiny little bitch. God. Why they don't respond to my emails? God, man. Grow a fucking pair, learn how to write, or just shut the fuck up. I mean, you're like a blind squirrel that gets a nut every so often. Jesus. Listen, I'm sorry for the language, Fawn. I'll behave. I'll behave. I will tone down on the foul language. I think he's a spectrum fool. I mean, if it has rainbow colors, I guess. I mean, I don't know. No, I know I've known plenty of people that are autistic, and they are pretty damn. They're brighter than you know. Don't fudge the issue. Just say what you mean. Also in this, Hitch also accused Foreman of using AI for legal filings. That do you see what? Okay, there is nothing in there in any single one of these documents where they have said, "Oh, look at this. This looks like an AI filing." Nothing. These are all accusations by somebody that got butt hurt because they got fired and then they got sued because of the shenanigans they were playing. That's all this is. This is somebody that got butt hurt because they got fired, got sued for misbehavior. I don't think Larry needs to use AI. I'm not even going to show the document. I'm just going to read through it. With the rising popularity of AI, many lawyers have been caught cheating. Okay, sure. I've covered that plenty of times. I mean, are you just now catching up to this? Yeah. Attorneys get fired for this stuff. They get sanctioned by the bar. None of that exists. There's not even been a motion made on this. It's an accusation that's unprovable. And if it were provable, they haven't proven it. Judge hasn't ruled on it. None of it. Nada, zero, zilch. The final shoe drop is the most troubling in a motion filed on September 22nd, 2025. Hitch argued that Foreman forged their names on legal filings with withdrawing from cases without their knowledge. Yes, and I've read those. I've read over all those documents. Do you realize that it's another employee or former employee or former co-counselor or some shit like that that's filing this shit? Seems like somebody has a beef with Larry. Why? Maybe because he's done better than they have. I don't know. Maybe because they suck as an attorney, because clearly I'm reading their documents and they suck. We're talking about the same attorney that is Deuce's attorney. That's the one who sent this stuff over and filed it in this case. Hitch didn't file that. If you would have read the document, you would have saw Hitch didn't file that. It was filed by somebody else in a completely different case. And there's still no proof. Like they've got, these text messages. Okay, I went over this shit. Go back, Volmit, go back and read my responses to this. If you didn't read it, where you been? Where have you been, Volmit? You've been sucking on mommy's teeties? Just getting all little. In an exhibit, the Hitch submitted a motion to withdraw digitally signed by Foreman and Tyler Hitch, which Hitch claimed he did not agree to sign. But I thought you said that you never talked with Hitch. And we don't know the circumstances behind it. But see, that would be something for court now, wouldn't it? Now we also have this idiot that's another Kentucky attorney who's currently representing Deuce Matskin in a lawsuit against Foreman. He previously worked for and with Foreman. See? He said this behavior is part of a pattern by Foreman of mistreating his employees. I've known Larry pretty well since 2017. That's not a pattern, dude. And I can tell you this, he's extremely good at marketing performative character. He'd be great in showbiz as his talents as an attorney. Well, I don't know a single lawyer in Louisville who would refer a serious, complicated case to them. That might be where Larry tried to hire me on a complex case as late as this year, just months before I sued him on behalf of Bruce Manskin. What the what? I told you. I told you I told you that this guy has a beef with Larry. He previously worked for and with Foreman. He said this behavior is part of a pattern by Foreman. So he's got issues with Deuce. He's got an, you know what it is? It's another, I can almost guarantee it's another attorney that is a complete idiot that signed on to this, probably with some sort of contingency agreement that he's going to get a lot of money out of this suit because Larry will be paying all of this. Because I've seen the filings, I've read the filings. Whatever bullshit this guy is filing is more of the polymop stuff, and all it's doing is to harass Larry. That's it. That's all that it is. I've read through the filings. This Bugs and who swear. What the what? Yeah, I heard about that. That's messed up. It's no secret that I used to work for him as an employee and with him as co-counsel. He's a bad boss and he can't seem to hold on to associates for more than a year or so. But maybe because Larry has high standards for associates. Okay. I've seen associates go in and out of law offices, left, right, and center. I'm married to an attorney. I've seen her go, yep, we got a new associate, and yep, they're gone. We've had associates last just a couple of days because they can't handle the kind of work that's being done. They can't handle the caseload, and they don't know the law, or they're really bad at it. The way that attorneys get chucked out here on a regular basis, hey, there's some that are really bad. I mean, I've seen quite a few of them. They know just enough to be dangerous, but outside of that, they're danger to the rest of the world. He and I both have the receipts of how nasty we can be to one another, and he knows my work and talent. He knows he has the ability to be a YouTuber. See, here it is again. More shit about YouTube. Yes, he has the ability to do YouTube. Doesn't mean he's a bad lawyer. If they don't want to be Larry, and that's why it don't work. No, that is exactly why. They see that he's become successful. And YouTube doesn't pay that much money. I can tell you right now, everybody's, oh, you're making that YouTube money. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Do you know how much money I would have to make at YouTube? How much I would have, how many subs I would have to have, how much content I'd have to have out, and how many videos I would have to get, we're talking like 1 million views on just for me to actually make YouTube money. Good Lord. I mean, I'm what, 400 something like that away from being like 10,000 subs. I'm a small fish. Hell, even even Jeremy is small fish in YouTube terms. Serious. You start looking at some of these content creators, we're talking about these girls that do the, what do you call it, VTubing and shit like that. They've got 20, 30 million viewers. And whenever they stream, they're cranking in bucks. Deep Brother Shizzy, such low life idiots. Nah, that's stupidity. We're allowed to break our shizzy. We loves us from shizzy. Well, thank you, Mama Bear. I appreciate you. I'm breathing. Sort of. I'm stopped up this time of year, man. I hate it. And he knows my work and talent. He knows the ability. Great. And as I said about this moron, I wasn't joking when I said this. This right here, 5 likes, 2 restocks. That's it. That's how much traction. That's how bad he sucks at this. He sucks so bad that within 2 seconds, I can pull this up and debunk his bullshit. Like, this is piss poor work. I mean, I would tell you do better, but no, I would say stop. Just go get a real job. Like, go work with your hands for a while. Maybe stop, choking down on the wang or whatever it is that you're doing. I don't know. But whatever you're doing is not working for you. You're sucking at this. You really, really suck at this. I'm sure you could be good, or you might have been good at some point in time. It ain't the case anymore, but you really, really suck horrible. I've seen better writing from a teenager, that actually has some skill, because you ain't got it. Whatever you got going on personally is affecting your fucking real life really bad. He liked himself 5 times. No. It was him and his leg humper there, that likes to grind on him. That's him and his Substack, what do they call those? Fake accounts. Yeah. They're the only ones liking it, because nobody else gives 2 shits about it. I mean, I was noticing it in that fake what hell's page. Like, he was constantly posting in there, and people were just like, nobody reads your shit, dummy. Why are you posting in here? Like, nobody cares. I mean, the only reason he mentions me is because I guess he wants me to hump his leg. No, thank you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be humping your leg. Sock accounts. Yeah, sock accounts. Yeah, king of the sock accounts. It is that he can't. He liked himself, I guess. I mean, somebody has to like him. I don't know. I'm amazed at the stupidity on this. I look at this on a regular basis. I go through the court documents, and if there's something in there, I try to read it. Sometimes I get it wrong, but I can tell you 90% of the time I'm pretty right on. I mean, how many times have you say, I don't know? You ask me a question, I go, I don't know. Maybe this is my opinion on it. Doesn't mean that that's what the judge is going to do. Hell, that's the same thing that happened tonight. I don't know. I don't know how the judge is going to rule on these things. Yes, him and Jeremy seem pretty good friends now. Yeah, they've been friends since the thumbnail case. You tend to sit there and get to know somebody whenever you're in a lawsuit with them, not against them, but with them, and you're being accused of the same thing. So you're going to sit down and you're going to talk it out and say, well, what's going on with this? Well, I don't know. Let's look at the law. They know that the thumbnail case was a completely frivolous bunch of bullshit. That's why they dropped it. So they could start in again and cost more money. That's why I listen. Your track record of transparency and honesty is pretty solid. I try to be. I mean, most of the time, if I don't know something, I don't know. I can't force it. I've been pretty solid on everything that I've covered so far. I hope that I'm not missing out on, some things. Some things I do. Sometimes I get things like really wrong. But the constant stupidity is mind-boggling. I mean, you can sit there and read the court documents. I read through the court documents. I did a stream about it, and yet he's still got everything wrong. It's like, oh, God. I'm not even an attorney. I'm just an idiot chewing on crayons. Num 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 num. I can't wait till Bubbles ex parte emails get unlocked. I know. I'm sure that is going to be, a fun can of worms. I would suspect that they'll be unlocked pretty quickly. I don't think that, because one thing judges don't like is whenever attorneys pull shenanigans like that. They really don't like that. The difference is you admit a wrong, not try to make it true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some stuff that I don't agree with. I mean, I've seen it on other sides, on both sides. Like, I don't agree with that. I think that's a bad ruling, but this is what the judge says. Judge says X, Y, or Z, and I'm just reading the ruling. I may not agree with it. I don't have to agree with it. It's not for me or against me. It harms me in no way whatsoever, but I'm usually pretty straight up whenever I see something that's crazy. I mean, I've already, shit, it wasn't even last week before last that I was just like, I mean, if you look at the rules of civil procedure in Wisconsin, or the rules in Wisconsin, if we're going by Wisconsin rules, they will file a motion for service by publication. What was that, last week, the week before last? And then they filed motion for service by publication. And then I said, it looks pretty solid to me. I think the judge will probably grant it. I mean, they've cited everything. I mean, but I'm not the judge. The judge can do whatever he wants to. The judge looked at it and was just like, here we go. Motion for service by publication. Go for it. But this idiot, he just doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So after reading through that, his stupidity, I did what I always do. Because, I'm not going to respond to a stupid email, because then they think that there's some sort of two-way dialogue. And I don't have time for two-way dialogue with morons. So I write open letters.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. Whiz, shizzy, whiz, nut.
An open letter to Volmit. Your stupidity is legendary, you basement-dwelling buffoon. Dear Volmit, you sniveling little Substack hack slinking out of mommy's dingy basement with your so-called investigation. That's what got all the punch of a deflated balloon. This DUI guy opens up a can of worms with a lawsuit gambit. Give me a break, you vomit-spewing clown. The only worms here are the ones ringing through your fact-free fever dream. All while you lap up Deuce's desperate delusions like a thirsty little lapdog. You think you're exposing some grand scandal? Nah, you're just peddling half-baked horse shit for clicks, misattributing everything in sight, and treating allegations like gospel. But let's staple your sorry article to the wall and shred it claim by claim, short, sharp, and absolutely lethal. I'll stick to the actual filings you cherry-picked, what's merely alleged, and what you are freestyling like a basement-dwelling conspiracy clown. So buckle up, Buttercup, because this is going to leave your ass chapped. And oh, while we're at it, let's drag some more of Deuce's self-owning drivel from his pathetic emails and demand notes, because nothing screams credible source like a guy who begs me to change your approach, uncovering her harassment circus while whining about my coverage of Michelle's Depot rebroadcast, all the while admitting that two Lees do it consecutively. And quadruple views. Hypocrite much, Deuce? But you, Volmit, you're even dumber, because your stupidity is so profound, it's got its own court record of cease and desist orders slapped you in at least 2 cases for your reckless reporting, plus that epic self-sabotage where you ruined someone else's custody battle, losing the kids after you screwed that one up. So how does it feel to be such a colossal screw-up that even Deuce's dumbass outshines you? Hell, even when Deuce tried writing open letters, he bombed so hard he hid in shame from me, the guy who calls himself a mentally incompetent YouTube moron. Licking windows and chewing crayons admits that I'm the last person to trust for legal analysis. Yet even he spots parody versus defamation. So what does that make you for swallowing this bullshit load whole? Because you kick off this little claim, claiming Larry copies playbook with clout lawsuit for YouTube views, which is pure bullshit. The pleadings are straight up real litigation, DTSA for trade secrets, theft, Lanham Act for unfair competition, CFAA for unauthorized computer access, fiduciary duty breaches, contract interference, injunctive relief, damages, fees. Then everyone pivots into arbitration with the plaintiff moving to stay under the FAA. Now that's the exact opposite of your little YouTube gamut fantasy. The broader harassment ecosystem, that's BB's twisted hobby, not Larry's. Speaking of Deuce's hobbies, his garbage big internet YouTube stories, spam to Law 360 and poacher podcasters pitches a major tale of Hales destroying lives via depots. Meanwhile, while he's out there licking asphalt on the fleas, the same crap for views, CCing Megan Fox, Umbrella Guy, and then including every low-rent echo chamber that can't even read a fucking court document fully, as his own email admits. Are you only interested in lazy content for larger view numbers regardless of whether you're helping harm others? Well, pot meat kettle, you fraud. Your whole spiel's lazy harassment fodder for elderly disabled neighbors and a 4-year-old kid. And how much did you get paid again? Okay, back to the meat of your garbage, Volmit, because your pro se stunt job is a joke. You're grasping at straws. Multiple filings are signed as an attorney for the plaintiffs himself and the firm. Not some amateur tomfoolery, just basic lawyering. And when you Then, of course, you're going to cream your little panties over Larry trying to enforce an unethical non-compete, getting caught hiding it. Wrong. The original complaint pleaded non-solicitation, which is perfectly kosher, and the amended posture explicitly says plaintiffs aren't seeking to enforce the post-employment paragraph. Even if there was an ethics debate, it's moot. The live claims ride on trade secrets, unfair competition, computer access violations, not some restraint that's been dropped, and your whine that he changed the count heading to hide the non-solicit. The substantive change is what counts, fuckwit. Plaintiffs aren't enforcing the post-employment paragraph. Why are you keep whining about a fence that no one's climbing? Because you bleat that the contract requires arbitration, but Larry sued instead. That's standard sequencing, not your pearl-clutching bullshit. Defense invoked the arbitration clause. Larry agreed and moved to stay. The remedy in federal court is compel stay. And your claim he balked at arbitration with sanctions following, he didn't balk, he asked the court to stay under the FAA and add teeth if either side games the forum. It's like skipping arbitration fees. Defense kept one foot in court chasing sanctions leverage. Larry kept repeatedly told the judge, send this to arbitration. Your text that you're showing Larry admitted they did nothing wrong crap, that's just a bullshit defense spin. Because you're waving around cherry-picked snippets. There's no order that adopts it. No judge buys it, and until there's a full thread of those emails, those texts in context, and a real judicial finding, it's just a brief that's bloated with low T levels, and you should know all about that, Volmit. Hell, Deuce's own reply filing is the real joke here, a padded cell monologue repeating itself like a parrot with a head injury, citing their own crap as truth in a self-licking lollipop of circular nonsense. And as I've already pointed out, the admission centerpiece is the one line from a text you don't have discovery in your possession. That's it. That's the so-called smoking gun, the legal equivalent of a grocery list. If that's your bombshell evidence, Volmit, you're firing blanks. The forgery bombshell where Larry faked Tyler's signature is just an allegation. It's not a finding. They slapped an image of a filed pleading with the typed S signatures and screamed KRS 516.040. There's no audit trail, no evidentiary hearing, no order, just captions and crap. Courtrooms run on ruling, not rage bait, idiot. AI slop, now that's an insult. It's not evidence, no hallucinated cases, no phantom sites in the papers. If they had a real AI misuse ruling, don't you think that they would be all over this and have it blasted everywhere? No. Your spin that Larry admitted he had no right to file? Bullshit. Dean acknowledged the arbitration cause and sought the FAA stay. That's not admitting the suit was improper. It's how you enforce arbitration when things kick off in court, idiot. On damages, you scoff that the client list is just in cyberspace and ask if it's all for YouTube content. Trade secrets and confidential business info are protected based on how they're compiled, safeguarded, and used. It's digital, ain't defense. The pleadings seek real injunctions, damages, fees under federal law. Now, your YouTube mode of crap died when arbitration took over, and while we're at it, why don't we talk about Deuce's damages? His bullshit demand letter begs for $492,597.67 because this couldn't even round it to $500,000. Had blender his hurt feelings into an exact tantrum price. Plus 3 apology videos, the same length, same graphics, same time slot. And that's the man to defend his reputation. That's a whiny little biatch, pricing his pout and then filing the very transcripts he claimed ruined him as exhibits. Immortalizing the jokes in a public document becoming his own distributor, stapling them to his forehead like the fool he is, because his verified complaint whines that Larry's videos falsely claim something, but his own transcripts blow that apart. Cell phone bubbles. Good job. Opposing counsel for BBB says Larry can't hack it and industry agrees. That's not industry consensus. It's straight up adversary spin from a bitter ex-bitch getting screwed over by Bubbles. Guess that numbnuts is too dumb to see he's being played like a cheap kazoo in Deuce's orchestra of idiocy. Hey, Volmit, speaking of paint chips, your little court loser buddy there? Who's the giver and who's the receiver in your pathetic hump fest? You two clowns deserve each other, both too stupid to avoid getting reamed in court, and I hear that he gets it. He wants to get it even harder in prison again and again. And as Jay says, harder, again, harder, and sloppier. He just can't wait to get back to visit Bubba now, can he? Well, neither Larry nor Shizzy responded to my email. What a dipshit. Why would Larry litigate a Substack DM during an active case? And as for me, your questions were so loaded with wrong assumptions, conspiracy crap, and one loaded phrase per comma. Me ignoring a bad faith, idiotic questionnaire isn't admission. It's basic hygiene. Larry aired his response on YouTube. Misattribution. The link their side cited is my live stream. They're saying it was Larry's live stream. It wasn't. It was my live stream on Shizzy Wiznut, this channel right here that you're watching this on, where I read filings, dismantle bad arguments, and speculated BBB was pulling a pressure play. It ain't Larry's content, moron, as Deuce's own reply filing bungles it, pointing to my video, a journalist that used to have a sparkly helmet, and trying to pin it on Larry. That's not an argument. That's the sloppiest kind of lie, moron. But I hear paint chips does like it sloppy. That's the sort of mistake you make whenever you're in such a hurry to smear that you just don't even check the information. And of course, finally, you crow that the court is on to him. Perjury, sanctions, the works. They filed proposed sanctions and status conferences and orders with blinks and hollered perjury and Rule 11 motion, then retracted it under safe harbor. Same day. If they had a signed order, they'd have framed it. Instead, it's noise, just in paragraph form. Huffing ordinary scraps into courtroom fireworks, quoting their own prior spin like an echo is evidence. Bonus is stupidity. Because Deuce's June 11 bar complaint spam seeing Fox Umbrella, me, tries to throw shade on Shock at Screaming Polyflops game while he multiplies proceedings for YouTube profit. Ironic projection from the king of frivolous filings. Look how that turned out. Let's not forget the facts you glossed over because they torch your trash fire story. So bad, isn't it? Website while employed. First use of the competing site logged while they were still on payroll. SOS registration. The new entity formed days after termination. Court address uses. Mismatched addresses on cases during crossover period. 18 cases. Theme. Pleadings. Allege appearances while still under the firm banner. All that backs the actual claims and screams why injunctive relief and arbitration matter more than your YouTube screenshots and your sensationalism. It's amazing to me that the docket vibe shifted, you noticed, right around Doc 15 window. Because the defense filings turned into a circus. The YouTube links, forgery, perjury, fireworks, Rule 11 theater, and phone call please. Meanwhile, plaintiff has stayed focused. Compel arbitration. Stay the case. Move this out of the peanut gallery. While you got one side chasing optics, the other one, they're chasing resolution. So here's a quick little timeline to kill your narrative dead. March 8th, 2025, terminations. April 14th, original complaint filed. April 21st, amended posture, no enforcement of the post-employment non-solicit. In May, defense moves to compel arbitration, plaintiff agrees, and moves to stay. June, defense launches sanctions theater and slips perjury before retracting it. September 22nd, they file a status call motion waving my stream around in a forgery allegation. September 30th, plaintiff responds, arbitration is the only live issue. Deny the call, stick to the FAA stay. So, Volmit, your article leans on motive mongering, misattribution, and allegations paraded as facts. And the record shows solid federal claims, a clean pivot to arbitration, and a repeated request to stay the court case while parties arbitrate. The non-compete scarecrow is moot. The forgery and those tags are all allegations. They're not findings. The AI slop job is just name calling, because you can even cite my live stream and pretend it's Larry's response. If you want reality instead of a paid smear campaign, read the filings, because they actually tell a different story. So now go crawl back into mommy's little basement, refresh the pathetic little sub count that you've got, and leave the real reporting to the grown-ups, because you're done. You're destroyed, dismissed. Hell, even your former pal, Megan Fox, medium smart at best, had the brains to steer clear of your dumbass before it drug her down too. Signed, Shizzy, Papa Nut. The guy with Velcro shoes and a safety helmet, licking windows on the short bus while eating blue crayons because the red ones make me way too damn hyper. We don't like that.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Whiz, Nut.
I love this place. You know that? It just makes me so happy to be here with all you fine folks. I thank you. Thank you so much. And you know, as a little bit of fun, I think I'm gonna give you guys a taste of another song. Because it is nothing good like having a good song. And I've got one that I've been working on. Oh, that is not what I was looking for. I don't know where that came from, but let me find it. It pulled up images I wasn't expecting. I could have sworn that it was not what I was nope. Don't know what the hell that was. Let's see. We've got some more leftovers from the B side, because something funny, Shizzy, you should get some gummy crayons to eat while live. Ooh, that would be fun. Let's see. Well, I think we've got one here that is called, let's see, what should I give them? I think we've got Rickles and Crystals, and then follow that up with Spit Don't Swallow and Randy Shockett, My Mama Ain't Dead. If you haven't, I know you've heard Randy Shockett, My Mama Ain't Dead, or maybe I'll give you the Dukes of Levy County. Let's see. How about Rickles and Crystals, Spit Don't Swallow, Train to Monkey Lake, and Dukes of Levy County? Yeah, I'll give you that. We'll start with Dukes of Levy County. Now, you guys started this stuff. You're the one that gave me the damn music. I'm just promoting it. Dukes of Levy County. Yeah, we'll start with Dukes of Levy County because it's good. All right, let's do this. Dukes of Levy County. Here we go.
In the swamps of Florida where the gators don't sleep, the Dukes of Levy County were in way too deep. Moonshine in their bloodstream, acid in their heads, tripping through the mangroves, half alive, half dead. High as the herons, laughing in the flood, crawling through the cypress, covered up in mud. Ooh, those nights were savage, blissful and so tragic, with their pupils wide, the Dukes of Levy fly. Cocaine comets flashing, meth smoke in the breeze, their rifles, pills on their tongues. Every croak of a bullfrog sounded like church songs sung. From Bronson down to Chiefland, you'd hear the stories told of the dukes who snorted lightning and thought their souls were gold. High as the heavens, drowning in the flood, buzzing like mosquitoes, dripping dirty blood. Now the swamp lies wasted, but the echo still gets high. When the moon hits Levy County, you can see those dukes still fly. They said the train don't run no more through Bronson town.
There you go. Spit, don't swallow.
Guess I got tired of hauling sinners who spit where they ought to swallow. But I still hear that whistle every time a monkey throws a banana at my truck. Down by the lake, steam rolling slow, moon looking slick, gators in tow, banana peels floating where the lovers go, and I'm riding the rails where the drunks don't know. Spit, don't swallow, baby, that's the creed. It ain't no shame if you plant your seed. The train keeps coming, but it don't take me. Spit, don't swallow, that's Levy County speed. Monkey on a mailbox grinning wide, tossing fruit at the cops as they ride. Sheriff says, boy, you're out of line. I said, nah, I'm just following the county sign. Lake on fire, sky turning pink, train home blowing like it needs a drink. Banana split, the monkeys think. Levy County roads will make your morals sing. Cooter on a rusted rail, saying face just whiskey in a paper pail. He spits, wipes his chin, tells a holy tale about a woman in English who never did fail. Spit, don't swallow, baby, that's the way. Keep your soul where the devil's play. The train don't stop, that's okay. We'll ride those roads till Judgment Day. And the moon hanging low like sin. Monkey stole my keys, but I let him win. Gas tank dry, wind in my grin. Spit one prayer, swallow none again. Steam whistle moaning through the smalls. Train goes howling with the preacher's lost. Monkey choir humming, count the cost. And the lake keeps whispering double cross. That's a tale we tell, from Bronson dirt to a Chiefland well. Train gone south, but I still hear that bell. Monkey on my hood yelling, rider go to hell. If you see me on 27 with a half-peel grin and a monkey shotgun riding in the wind, just wave, friend, 'cause in Levy County we spit first. Think like
oh yeah. Now we've got, before we hit that one, we're going to have to hit Rickles and Crystals. I got two versions of this. You guys have to tell me which one is better, because I can't decide. I got two versions of this and both of them are good. Rickles and Crystals.
She said the universe had a plan, but the only thing the universe gave her was overdraft fees and a busted taillight. Still, she kept that crystal round her neck like it owed her rent. She burned sage in a single wide trailer, dream catchers hanging from the ventilator, praying to the moon for a sugar daddy savior, but the moon just winked and said, girl, later. Rickles and crystals, cheap faith and gin. Talking about karma with ash on her skin. Every love story's where the pain begins. She always failed, then blamed the wind. Then blamed the wind. Terry spread on a Waffle House plate. Said my aura's bad, but my tip was great. Told her fate's a train, she still showed late. And tripped on a robe at the pearly gate. She said the stars were finally aligned, but her car got towed and she didn't mind. Claimed Mercury's fault, not her own behind. Still preaches hope to the broken spine. Rickles and crystals, bless her mess. Holy water spiked with emptiness. Ain't of the secondhand hopeless quest. She always failed, but tried her best. But tried her best. She keeps a Bible under tarot cards. Quotes both like drunk poets in bars. Sells the potions out her mother's yard. And swears her exes are all Scorpio scars. Rickles rings clinking like sin. Crystal ball clouded, can't see within. She smiles wide but the eyes stay thin. Whispers next life I'm bound to win. Rickles and crystals, smoke and show. She never learned and it always shows. Try to find heaven on a two-lane road, but the sign said close, and the light won't and the light won't Maybe she'll rise again someday. When her sage ain't from Dollar Tree and her God stops charging hourly.
All right, here's the other one.
Was told there'd be crystals here.
And here it comes.
She said the universe had a plan, but the only thing the universe gave her was overdraft fees and a busted tail light. Still she kept that crystal round her neck like it owed her rent. She burned sage in a single white trailer. Dream catchers hanging from the ventilator. Praying to the moon for a sugar daddy savior, but the moon just winked and said, girl, later. Rickles and crystals, cheap faith and gin. Talking about karma with ash on her skin. Every love story's where the pain begins. She always failed, then blamed the wind. Tarot spread on a Waffle House plate. Said my aura's bad, but my tip was great. Told her fate's a train, she still showed late. And tripped on a robe at the pearly gate. She said the stars were finally aligned, but her car got towed and she didn't mind. Claimed Mercury's fault, not her own behind. Still preaches hope to the broken spine. Rickles and crystals, bless her mess. Holy water spiked with emptiness. Saint of the second-hand hopeless quest. She always failed, but tried her best. She keeps a Bible under tarot cards. Quotes both like drunk poets in bars. Sells love potions out her mother's yard. And swears her exes are all Scorpio scars. Rickles will rickle rings, clinking like sin. Crystal ball clouded, can't see within. She smiles wide, but the eyes stay thin. Whispers next life I'm bound to win. Rickles and crystals, smoke and show. She never learned and it always shows. Try to find heaven on a two-lane road, but the sign said close, and then the light won't glow. Maybe she'll rise again someday, when her sage ain't from Dollar Tree and her God stops charging hourly.
They said the train don't run.
Yeah. Mama Bear Lee, thank you so much. And you get the best.
Welcome to the shit
Oh,
show.
yes. Thank you, Mama Bear.
Every
Single
day.
day.
A new flavor of fuckery,
fuckery,
cause everybody's so
Everybody's so
shitty and they're dumber than a bag of
bag of
chips.
rocks.
Monday,
Monday,
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and buggery. Oh, yes. Oh, the first one. I like that. Number one is hotter. Okay. I'll keep that. I think so. I think number one was a little bit hotter. What do you think, Boss Storm?
Yeah, I'm hungry. You said there'd be crystals here.
Oh, no, different crystals. You're going to eat stones?
Damn
We have,
it.
we have rocks here, man.
No, I'm talking about, little crystal burgers.
Yeah, I know. We're like, man,
Sack full. I could really use it.
I could go for some chili cheese puffs, man.
Oh, those are the best.
Especially now, if like whenever I was playing all the time, there was a Crystals right next to the bar.
Yeah.
And it would be 2 or 3 o'clock. Now you also have to understand where I lived was right next to the bar too. Like I could go there in the early afternoon, drop off my gear, and then go back to work. And then whenever I would get off work late at night, I could go play, show up at like 9, 10 o'clock, play for, until 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And then whenever I was done with work, I'd just walk over to Crystals and then I would walk home and my food wouldn't get cold, even in the winter.
And that was probably back when like you get a sack full of 12 for like $5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd take those things home and just chow down. Of course, I would be half lit too. So.
Well, you need the bond and the crystal to be able to absorb the alcohol.
Yeah, there would be way too much. Way too much. I mean, but because after I didn't drink very much during the show. It was after the show that I would end up drinking.
Well, of course.
I would have. Oh man, oh God. And of course, the bartenders were always happy because we brought money in, so it'd be like, here, shots. And then next thing you know, it's like everybody's going, I don't want another shot. I'm just like, all right, just like 3 or 4 shots, and it was just like, all right, well, cool.
Well, at least we know the story about how you became an alcoholic, Shizzy.
No, I became an alcoholic whenever I started chasing
Streaming?
wild women. No, I started chasing wild women. Then I got married, and then I became an alcoholic.
Okay, makes total sense.
Makes total sense, doesn't it? Wild women kept me sober because you got to be sober whenever you're chasing wild women. If not, they just kick you to the curb.
I don't know. Sometimes a few drinks helps. Just saying.
Well, them.
No, it helps me. I'm like, I need to get on your level.
Oh,
3 shots.
Well, I before I went live, I pulled up the docket, and there was. It looks like the judge handed over documents. It's a possibility emails from Bruce the Deuce, and they've been filed with the clerk.
Okay.
One of them is 11 pages, one of them is 4 pages, and another one is 4 pages.
Okay.
Of emails from Deuce to the judge, ex parte communication with the judge.
Interesting.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. The next couple of days are going to be really interesting. And Lynette's bankruptcy case is back on.
Well, good for her.
But she has 14 days to handle everything. Like it's serious.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do,
Yeah. 14 days. And then we'll see. Plus she still has to show up for deposition. and she still has a hearing that she's supposed to show up for. I don't think that puts a stay on it. Thank you, Britt. I think I got it handled. I don't know. I have to look up the rules, but I'm pretty sure that they can still ask her questions.
That's just way over my head anyway.
Yeah. That's why I said we'll find out what the judge says. I mean, she'll never get it done, dude. If you guys did not watch the video that I did about Heavy D from Diesel Brothers, go back and watch the last part of Sundays. It was Saturdays. Go watch the last part of Saturdays, and that was a court case that went on for 9 years. 9 years, right?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. 9 years. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind that it was 9 years of court cases. If you think that this is going to end anytime soon, nope. Someone is working for their retirement. It looks like. Well, everybody, it is 10 minutes past the time that I normally would quit. So I am going to say goodnight to all of you. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Yeah, I'll be on with Mo tomorrow. We've got some cool stuff that we're going to be doing tomorrow. And then, of course, I will do, I might not stream tomorrow night over here, but I will be on with Mo in the deep end. Show some love to each other. Peace, you guys. Peace.
Oh, you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen, caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny, so grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, let's set the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass, burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy Daddy's forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow. Agenda will see me tomorrow, same obsession,